Thank you very much. That's really a big honor for me, first of all, to be here and to talk about my project in front of you. My name is Giuseppe Gurrieri. I'm Italian. I come from Sicily. Sicily, maybe there is somebody that doesn't know, is an island in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, where a lot of domination passed by, from Greek to Phoenician, Arab, Norman, almost everybody. So let's say that today Sicily is the result of all this domination, so it's a bit a mix of everything. It's difficult to explain just during one presentation, but I think it was important to say. My studio is in Ragusa, that is a city in the southern part of the island. We mainly work in Sicily, but we also do some other works in other parts of Italy. I collaborate with Nunzio Gabriele Sciveres, that is an architect that has his own studio here in Milano, and I also do research with the Royal Institute of Technology of Stockholm. We work with students. We deliver with different aspects, such as complexity of society, different cultures, about all the situation where architecture plays a really important role. We try to find out solution or strategies to different problems and in different situations. And actually, the project I'm going to explain today, let's say that it comes also from my academical research. But before talking about the project, I must introduce the city where the project is site, is Ragusa. Let's say that Ragusa is a really strong geomorphology. It is site in two hills, divided by valley, and connected by bridges. On your left side, you can see Ragusa Ibla, that is the historical city center of Ragusa, that was built into the original medieval urban system. So you see on your right, Ragusa Ibla, that actually was rebuilt after the earthquake of 1693 into the original medieval urban system. And actually it is a Baroque city. That was the style of that age. Yeah, and I want to stop in this picture because actually, in a way, it is connected with my project. Let's say that the complexity of the urban system comes from the several repetition of the original living unit that makes this complexity, this chaos in a way. And the second hill has one urban structure that is more orthogonal. In this area, there are buildings that are coming from different periods. There are historical buildings and other buildings that are more recent. And after there is the growing area and the suburbs. In the distance, you see Ragusa Ibla and closely the new edification. Okay, so my project is site in the suburbs of the city. Actually, it's a big, huge, empty area. It's like a urban void. Actually, it is just a crossing area. People just pass by to go from Ragusa to other cities. In this place, there are just few sport infrastructure as the sports arena, the public pool, the hippodrome, the stadium, So in general, people are not staying in this place. They are just going when there is some sport event. And moreover, there are a lot of parking of the few sports infrastructure that amplify the sensation of the void. The water tower is the only landmark, and it looks like the lighthouse of the region. There are just few social housing, but actually they cannot get advantage of public services. And this is the sports arena. And finally we got to the building that I renovated. It's a really small building. It's only 120 square meters. Actually, it was the former ticket office of the sport arena that was abandoned since years. And behind this project, there is mainly one really strong political strategy that comes from the decision of the city council to give to some private investor the possibility to turn this building into a bar, into an economical activity, to bring people in this area and let's say to not only to renovate the single building, but this strategy is part of a bigger strategy because there are other buildings close to this building that will be renovated. So the main goal is to reactivate the area to let's start a new urban regeneration. Okay, so I took inspiration by Antoine Leger, that in his book that was written in 1775 was talking about the essence of architecture, the primitive hut as the symbol of the house into the wood. It's also the symbol of the life into the nature, has to be pure with any decoration, really essential. And actually it brought me down and let me think about the typical, the archetype of the Sicilian house, that is a really simple unit made of stone and with a wooden roof, that actually is the starting point of the urban system. So the picture we saw before, we were talking about Ragusa Ibla, is just the result of the several repetition of this single unit. And so finally we get into my project, that is the reinterpretation of the primitive hut. It wants to underline, it's a sign that wants to say that a new life in this unusually urban landscape is coming, hopefully. The architectural strategy, it's really simple. I decided not to demolish the building. That actually was maybe the easier process, but I decided to keep it and to build, to create a new skin all around the building. This skin is made of a really cheap material, I mean low-cost material, with a metal structure, and the skin is made of carpentry wooden slabs that is yellow, not because I painted it yellow, but just because this material is yellow, is a laminated, protected by resin that can stay under the sun, under the rain, so the choice was not yellow. Of course I liked yellow as well, but was not the main reason. And this skin, as you see in these pictures, is floating, is not touching the floor, in according with the different levels of the street in one side and of the parking in the opposite side. It is also a barrier, it screens the opening. For example, there is an entry here that is well hidden by the slabs, and also it works as a gap, as a ventilated gap that improves the energy efficiency of the whole building. So you see from the existing walls to the new skin, there is this gap. You can reach this gap from the door on the back, and you can use this gap also as a storage, because the place is really small, so we needed space. There are two windows, one on the main entry and the other one following the same axis in the opposite side, that give to the visitors the possibility to look into this unusual urban landscape. These are a few sections. Let's say inside it's really simple. There is just a wall that divides that private area to the customer's area. The interior are really simple materials, simple volumes, and the exposed concrete structure wants just to remind the pre-existing building. Okay, on the north side, the skin is designed to be overturned to create tables, external tables. Even because in Sicily the climate is always really mild, so you can leave the external space. And also under the table you can hide the seat. And he is the godfather. Okay, let's finish with this picture in which I want to, it's possible to read the landscaping insertion of this small project that eventually, with following the right political, economical and architectural strategy, can turn into a bigger project, in a bigger scale. Thank you very much.